秒。20秒。20秒。10、9、8、7、6。
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, ignition.
Three Chinese astronauts into space.
Pitch over.
Okay, the pitch over happening about 12 seconds into the flight.
The tower is already clear. We can see the white flames very bright in the night. The ground station reports that the tracking is normal and the status is normal. Oh, this is the camera mounted on the launch vehicle.
And we will continue to hear those tracking data that will tell us how the flight is going. We'll continue to hear them throughout the process.
So the next critical step will be the jettisoning of the emergency escape tower about 2 minutes after liftoff. At this moment, we can see that this is a video mounted on the body of the maybe the second stage, and we can see 2 of the boosters and their flames, and we can see the cabin inside the re-entry capsule, and the 3 astronauts are in very good status. We cannot see the vibration because the camera is vibrating together with the cabin.
That's right. The 3 taikonauts do seem to be in a good state.
And each of the booster have a rocket engine with a thrust about 75 tons. And when it is reached the supersonic status, it will experience the largest aerodynamic forces called the max Q. So at this moment, it will be supersonic and will be safer and safer. Oh, great! The jettisoning of the emergency escape tower.
The escape towers have come off. This is 2 minutes into the flight.
Exactly. And then will be the separation of the 4 boosters.
We're monitoring to see the 4 boosters coming off. I mean, you know, the taikonauts do seem to be doing fine, but this is the part where they feel a lot of discomfort, and as you can see, the boosters are coming off.
You can see a cross of the 4 boosters. And the first stage has already been separated.
And the first stage of the carrier rocket.
And the second stage will work much longer than the first stage. It has 1 main engine. It is a vacuum version of the first stage engine. It is similar, but with a large nozzle. And also, the second stage have 4 vernier engines with smaller thrust, but they are rotatable. We can see on the left of screen is the camera mounted on the launch vehicle. This one is the camera inside the payload fairing.
The taikonauts are flipping through their manuals again. They seem to be really fine.
Great.
Something else.
The payload fairing is separated.
That's the payload fairing. The payload fairing is what protects the spacecraft.
Yes. You can see the beautiful flames of the launch vehicle.
What do you make of the taikonauts at this point? I mean, the fact that they're flipping through their manual seems to suggest they're doing
they are just
very well.
Reading the parameters on the control panel and to judge whether anything goes right. The ground staff reports that the tracking is normal.
What are we looking at now, Professor? This
is a video captured by the ground station. It is an optical camera.
Okay. So the tracking units are, some of them are from stationary units, others are from ships that moved into position prior to the launch of the
Exactly.
mission.
So along the downrange trajectory, we have multiple ground stations, including those with the telescopes or optical telescopes to take videos like this. And also we have the readers. To monitoring the. Oh, we can see on the left is the camera mounted on the rear part of the second stage. So it is monitoring the working of the rocket engines.
And the main engine of the second stage will shut down as we go further into the flight. Is that what's going to happen next?
Exactly. So I've already been discussed that the payload fairing has already been separated. So the next critical step will be shutdown of the main engine. But at this moment, theoretically speaking, it is already in orbit, but maybe not accurate enough. So we will use the 4 vernier engines, the 4 smaller engines, to adjust its trajectory.
Got it.
So another ground station reports that the status is normal. The Shenzhou ground station reports that it is normal.
I mean, we've done this so many times, but it just doesn't get less nervous for all of us watching on Earth here.
Yes, we just heard a voice that Qingdao has already captured the vehicle. It is already close to Qingdao. And the separation of the spacecraft and the launch vehicle will be in the to the east of the China's sea coast.
I mean, Qingdao is on China's east coast. The carrier rocket lifted off from the northwest of China.
Yes.
In a few minutes' time, it moved from northwest of China to the east coast of the country.
And before the end of the working of the rocket, the altitude will be about 200 kilometers.
Have they passed the period where they feel most discomfort now? I mean, for the taikonauts?
Exactly. You see that the most inconvenient part is during the flight of the first stage, because you know that because of the aerodynamic forces, there are many intensive vibration. But at this moment, you know that they've already in a vacuum condition. The payload fairing has already separated. Another ground station reports that the USB and also the another data link is normal.
I wonder what they're thinking right now, especially for Mr. Deng, who waited so long, over 2 decades for this time. It's finally happening, a dream come true for him.
Great. Main
The
engine has shut down.
Shutting down.
It's already in orbit, but maybe not accurate enough. So the 4 vernier engine will adjust its trajectory precisely. And we can see on the top right of the screen is the camera, an infrared camera, taking the videos of the vehicle.
And if all things go well, we're looking at the separation of the spacecraft from the carrier rocket, which will happen any minute now.
You can see the 3 crew members are very relaxed now.
Smiles on their faces
Exactly.
as they have passed that most difficult period of time. A big relief, I would imagine, for all 3 of them.
As I emphasized, actually speaking, they've already in orbit.
But they're now adjusting
The accuracy.
Of the trajectory.
Yes. So the next step will be the shutdown of the 4 vernier engines.
As we mentioned, the main engine was shut down just a few moments ago.
You know, that's the engine during the liftoff, the thrust is 75 tons. But you know, that's the second stage, although it uses the same type of engine, but it is a vacuum version. And the thrust is bigger because it is vacuum condition. Changjiang 6 means 远望 6 space tracking ship in the Pacific Ocean. So it is already gets the data
They have
link.
now identified the object.
Exactly.
Where is this camera? This is
This is a camera mounted on the top of the launch vehicle towards the spacecraft, to the front.
酒泉船舰分离。
okay. That is the successful separation of the spacecraft from the carrier rocket. You hear a round of applause from ground control because this is a critical step
Yes,
indicating
yes.
initial success of the flight.
And what we see now is a 3D animation in the flight control center. We should emphasize that this 3D animation is driven by the real data received from the telemetry data.
So it's a real-time update, 3D animation
Quite right.
indicating
The position, the velocity, the attitude of the vehicle is real status.